It's been over 11 years since Star Wars Battlefront first made its appearance on consoles and the PC in September 2004, where it was well received for its strategic, team-based approach to third and first-person blasting in the Star Wars universe. Since then, it's been passed from developers Pandemic onto Free Radical Design, and then onto Rebellion Developments. Now DICE, EA's world-class studio fondly remembered for its Pinball Dreams trilogy on the Amiga, and those Battlefield games I guess, are taking a swing at the Star Wars license, backed by their versatile Frostbite engine. Even better, DICE launched an open beta of the game on EA's Origin service and on consoles in October, allowing us to sample the game before committing to a full purchase. With the majority of the content locked out of the beta, I was surprised to see that a single-player mission was included. As a wave-based, horde-like survival mode, it acts as a solid tutorial for the controls in the beta, while also providing some quick arcadey fun. But it's ultimately just a teaser for the real meat of the beta, the multiplayer. The multiplayer portion of the beta comprised of two modes. The first is Drop Zone, Battlefront's take on that FPS staple, King of the Hill. In teams of 8 versus 8, players are tasked with claiming and defending drop pods before the enemy can capture them. It's fast and furious and perfect for a quick round between other games. The Sullust map provided in the beta offered rough terrain with a good degree of verticality, allowing players to snipe one another or fall back into the crevices of the surface while under fire. The varied landmasses also provide a good testing ground for evaluating the strengths and weaknesses of the weaponry available in the beta, including the explosive thermal detonator and the cycler rifle, which, for all intents and purposes, may as well be a one-shot sniper rifle. The second mode is Walker Assault, which recreates the iconic Battle of Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back, with a little creative license used for the sake of gameplay and general amusement. It's here I spent the majority of my time in the beta. The main objective is to defend or destroy the rebel shield generators, depending on your faction of choice. But to actually prevail, you'll have to complete a number of sub-goals, including deactivating uplinks or disabling mammoth AT-ATs. Gameplay-wise, I'm torn on Battlefront so far. One of the biggest fears for some, and the greatest expectation from others still, was that Battlefront would simply be Battlefield with a Star Wars skin. But the balance and mechanics are different. Going into iron sights, for example, doesn't actually seem to improve accuracy, and console players may get a better field of view of the battle by playing in third person. There have been concerns over team balance too, especially for the Walker Assault mode. Following the beta, many sites reported on the issue, with DICE stating that rebalancing this mode was certainly on the cards. Later reports are now suggesting that the mode has been tuned to allow the rebel team a greater chance of victory. Personally, I actually like the odds being stacked against the rebels. It made sense for the location, and leads to greater satisfaction if you manage to pull off a win. A completely different problem is the power-up placement, which felt haphazard and random during my time in multiplayer, though I later realised some were in fixed locations, leading to many players simply spawn camping them to succeed. And on some level, I can't blame them. Power-ups are the only way to currently access vehicles such as A-Wings and TIE Fighters, which are a ton of fun in their own right, if not exactly the most in-depth on the control front. Another sticking point is the card system, which does seem like an efficient way of simplifying loadouts prior to matches, but some will seek more depth from these options, and there's always a worry that paid DLC will creep in here post-launch. On the plus side, every single moment of it looks and sounds authentically Star Wars, with a focus on original trilogy assets that older fans of the franchise, such as myself, will especially appreciate. Performance on my PC was great too. My aging GTX 660 OC was able to maintain 40 to 68 frames per second at 1080p on the high setting, or a rock solid 60 frames per second on medium, which is roughly equivalent to the graphical settings of the console versions, though they do run at a slightly lower resolution. All in all, some minor quibbles aside, I had fun with the Battlefront beta. I'm not sure I'm able to justify the high entry price for a primarily multiplayer title, at least at launch, and it remains to be seen if DICE can avoid the trap of pretty visuals but shallow gameplay for the content we've yet to see. For Ready Up, this was Scott Cameron, with my 4-minute thoughts.